Hey, hi everyone. So today we are going to discuss a very good problem statement which I can say. And this problem statement requires a very deep logic and we have to think in a very different way. It requires you have to work on the some declaring of the variables. You have to look into the Windows functions. You have to look into the case when conditions with the date difference, date add calculations, all things you have to work on. And means where this problem statement works. This problem statements might be a suitable questions for those organizations where the most of the dates where they are playing with the most of the dates, like into the any of the banking sector, might be any of the BFSI industries, any of the airlines industry. So there you have to look into these there you will find it out, these kind of problem statement. Also, this problem statements, if you will work, then which I am assuming you might be feel very confident enough to work on the most complex problem statements. So just look into the problem statement now, and I will try to explain it in a much better way that you will understand it and you can write the code in your own way. So now, not wasting any much of the time, now deep dive into the problem statement. So what's the problem statement? The problem statement is we have to print the all overlapping dates. And once I say the overlapping dates, what I mean to say, so to illustrate that part, I have opened a Excel here. So here we are having the start date in a one column and end date in a one column. So this is the one row, this is the second row, means it starts from 1st Jan 2025 and ends on 10th of Jan 2025. So why not I will write in this way, and I will pull it till here, and it will start from 8 Jan 2025 till 15. So what are those dates which is getting overlapped? So those dates which is coming in both the tables, only those dates are getting overlapped. So these three dates are the overlapped dates are here. Okay. So in the output, they are only expecting these three dates should be coming. Okay. So now we have to think how we can work on this problem statement. So without any wasting of time, I have already created a here table, going to insert two values and printing this table now. So this is the table where the start date and end date is here. But you have to think in that way that how we can select the first row of this table. So, because we cannot use anywhere the hard coded values in the once we write the query, we they will ask you that you do not have to write any hard coded values. So then how will you select the first start date? You might be thinking that I can use in this way, select the start from hash date t, where start date is this. But here you have used the hard-coded values. We do not need to use in that way. You might be thinking in a different approach as well. Might be you are thinking that why I will do that part. I can use in this way. Top one star, and now I do not need this one. But even though this is not something which I am looking for, because this is something which is not the interviewer is expecting. Interviewer is expecting something from the Windows function. And also you have to take the second row as well. So let's see how we can give the row number here first. So I am writing it out. Select, sorry, row number over order by what? Order by start date, give start date as row ID. Then what I need here is start date. Then what else we need here? End date. From which table? From has date D table. Now if you will think, you can clearly found it out here. And now you can make a where condition where the row ID is 1, where the row ID is 2, and you will find it out the data. Okay. So now let's put it in a CT, and we have used finalize the ID here. So I'm giving the ID CT name as date ID as, and now giving it out here. We were closing this one. Okay. Now think in that way. If okay, let's write select start date from date ID where row ID equals to 1. Suppose I have to use this state, so do I need to write this statement again and again? But what if I have to use end date? Then I have to write another SQL query. If I have to use the end date of second date range, then how will I do it? So here I have to mention select end date from date ID where row ID equals to 2. So why I will write this lengthier code again and again, rather than why I will not declare some variables and I store the values there. So let's declare the variables. So to declare the variables into the SQL, we have a declare statement. Just write declare, then write the what the name you want to give. So I'm giving a name as range1 start date, and then you have to give the data type. So I'm playing with the dates. So I'm giving the data type as date. Give the second one range1, and then it should be end date. And why I'm keeping this the name as a start date or end date, because this one is the start date, this one is the end date, this is the range one, and then I'm going with the range 2 start date and range 2 end date. Hope it helps to understand. I'm just changing the date here, name here, sorry, not date. Now what I want to do, I want to select, and whatever the variables we have created here, I want to assign the values to it. Now this we can copy from here, give it here, start date this, change the name here because here we are storing something else. We have to give it here 2, 2, here give it 2, okay, 2, and end it out here. Now let's check, do we have the values stored in it? So select as date 1, date 3, date 4. Okay, now let's run it. Let's check, do we have the values stored in it? Yes, we have the values stored in it. Now wherever I want to use these dates, I can directly call these variables and utilize this one. Okay, now what I will do, I this code I have just only used to illustrate this part. Now I will create a one more CT select range date as, okay, now let's check select do a date difference, select date difference in day. Then I need a case condition. Why I need a case condition? Because what if the range 1 start date is greater than or smaller than with the range date 2? So those problem statements we are going to capture here, and hoping it will help. Select when at the rate range 1 start date is greater than range 2 start date, then range 1 start date, else range 2 start date. So this part we are playing with because what if the dates are greater and smaller? So case when at the rate range 1 and date. Now here we have to check the smaller range 2 and date, then range 1 and date, else range 2 and date. Sorry, where my cursor is, and just give a name as n, and now select the data. Select star from range date. Hope this code should work. Yes, this code is working now. Okay, so what I have did, range, I have given range 1 start date, just rechecking range 1 start date, range 2 start date, then range 1 start date, then range 2 start date, then end. Okay, case when range 1 and date smaller than range 2 and date, then range 1 and date, else range 2 and date, end. Okay, date difference. Okay, yeah, this is working now. Now what I need to do, I need to give here, because I need some numbers, so I need to give here from sys dot all objects. I need any table name, but I need some table where we have the some values already available. So I do not want to use any of the tables which is already available in my table which I have created physically. This is something which is already available into the databases. That's what I am using here. And now if you will run it out, so it should give me a list of numbers. Okay, yeah, here we go. Now I do not need so much of values, because if you will look here, it might be having those number of values which is already available into the sys.all objects. Those number of counts it's holding. So what I will do, I will just make it top on this one, because now it will give me only those values which I am requiring for top. And now from here I have to remove this one, and let's do in this way, something in this way, so it will be easier to understand. Case this, and top will start from 0, so I will make it increment by 1. Okay, now I have to give this as a value, so it will give me the row number, because it's only hold 1 2 3 4 5, something like that. So row number I am giving on this one over order by and select null. We are using here null because I want to order it in any sequential way and which starts from the 0 and select null, then -1 as n. Now if you will look, this will give me some 15 16 values, I guess. 0 1 2. Yeah. Why 0 1 2 only? Because we have the date difference is only already available with that part. Now I will make you go through with this code once more. We have the date difference. What's the date difference is doing? Date difference is doing requires a parameter that what type of in what output you want to look into the data set. I need the date difference in the number of days. This is the case statement which I have done here. At the rate range 1 start date. If the range 1 start date is greater than range 2 start date, then range 1 start date we need to take, and range 2 else range 2 start date. Whatever the dates is maximum, we have to look into that part, and whatever the date is minimum in the end dates, we have to look in that part. Okay, and why I am stating this one? Okay, let's come on here. Suppose we are having suppose this date is 1 Jan 2025 and 10 Jan 2025, and the start date is greater than the 8 Jan 2025. Suppose this one is 9 Jan. Then what should be the overlap dates here? Overlap date should be, suppose, okay, let's think in that way. Suppose now this one is 0 9. Now if I will keep it here and what are the overlap states now? Now the overlap states are only 9 and 10. So that's why whatever the maximum date is it here, that's what only we are dealing with here. That's why I have given the case when condition, because I want to be very robust solution which you will work for any of the scenarios. Also, why I have given here 1, because here I have used -1 because whatever the number is utilized. +1 I have given here because I want to include the end date as well, because that date itself, otherwise it will not included in that part. Also, I have used -1 because it will start from the 0 like here 0 1 2, and select null because I want to order it in a way. That's why I have just given not any not given any column name. I have just given here as null, so it will sort the data. Okay, I think hope it works till here. Now let's move into the different part. Now we have these three values are available, 0 1 2, means we have the three. Now we understood that only three dates are there which is getting overlapped. Now what we need to look into it, now we have to find it out the dates. So what I will do, I will just mention select date add. Now I am adding the dates. Let's start with select star from range date, and from this range date what I am requiring, and give it this, not I am going to use again and again this so longer name. What I am going to use, add date add day r dot n, because whatever the values we have found it out here, date add r dot n, then case, let me put in this way, case when at the rate range one start date is greater than range 2 start date, then range 1 start date, then range 1 start date, else range 2 start date, and so what I'm going to achieve here, we are finding it out that whatever the greater date is available, just add the dates there. Okay, I have closed here and give a name as overlapping date. Okay, sorry, my bad. I have already used this one. Now, what we need to achieve? Now we have to give the where condition. Where date add interval in days int how many times? So it should be r dot n means the 0th time at the first place, and then use this one only. Okay, where date add should this one between between this one range 1 start date greater than range 2 start date. I think hope it works, and then range 1 and date range. I have, I think this statement should work here. Let's see. Date add, I have given 2 times. Okay, let's see if this code works. Yep, here we go. So now we are having here 8, 9, 10 are those days which are getting overlapped. So now let me illustrate this one, what we are achieving here. So in the date day function, what we are achieving in the date day function, we are finding it out. The number of the date output should be in the number of days. Then r dot n, I have told you that here we are getting 0, 1, 2 with this one, with this CT, we are finding it out 0, 1, 2. So at the first place is going with the 0. Then the range 1 start date greater than should be the range 2, means whatever that logic I have told you that I have to take the greater than date here. And then what we are finding it out, we are finding it out here that we have given the case condition that range 1 start date and range 1 end date. So whatever the date is maximum here and whatever the date is minimum here, we are taking from that part. So in our case, what is the dates here? Range 1 is start date. Start date is whatever is maximum. It's 8 Jan 2025 and 10 Jan 2025, which is the minimum end date. So this is something which we have given here. Hope it helps you. If you not understand it in a one go, try to listen it once more time, but it will help you out for sure. And this problem statement is a very good problem statement on the date specific date types where the work is more allocated with the date columns. So it will help you out. If you have still any question and if you found any of the difficulties to understand any of the part, try to break it first, then try to run it. If not, then please put your questions in comment box. I will try to answer that part. Thank you everyone. Hope it helps.